what I learned in Thailand, I started changing my perspective on how I was living here. This is the way that my life is. I have to accept it. I'm going to be moving forward and not having that cloud of fear kind of coming around me. So I started to embrace the fact that, Thailand is this phase of my life. This is what I'm doing now. And wherever I end up is where I end up. So I kind of, along with a lot of other people that come here, kind of just accept it and think to themselves, okay, let's see what comes to us next, because it's an adventurous place. It's an exciting place. I've been here 16 years almost. You always have these situations that you come across that are new and exciting. So more or less, I don't feel that anymore. I don't have that feeling anymore. But I think also my life living in so many different countries, having these new beginnings, constant, new experiences, coming here, getting married, getting divorced, having children, starting new businesses, these things, you just have to accept it now and just move forward.
Today we're talking with Ryan Reece. He's a Canadian expat living in Thailand for the past 15 years, and we had an absolute amazing conversation. So you're going to be learning about what it takes to be an entrepreneur living in Thailand, what it's been like for Ryan over the past 15 years, and how has Thailand changed for him. And finally, he's going to jump a little bit into what was it like living in a military coup. So without further ado, this is the Fruiting Body Podcast with your host, Brendan. Let's go.
I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm just doing, I guess, business, football business, football ecosystem, working in various things. I have a swim school as well, but I think more or less it's more like an international development project, with education.
Well, that's a lot going on and kind of a lot to unbox, and I really want to focus today on that lifestyle stuff. And what actually brought you to Thailand? Because most people that are listening, that are looking to move here, or even Asia in general, they don't even know how to take that first leap. So can you give us a background story? What even led you here in the first place?
Yeah, so I was playing soccer professionally in Europe. And then after I had a friend who was playing out here, and he spoke to the team, and then they brought me over, and then I started playing. After that, I had some issues with the club. Admittedly, there was a little bit of mismanagement, miscommunication. Yeah, and then after, I ended up retiring here, and then I found a way to support people.
Did you first come to Bangkok initially?
Yeah, originally I came to Bangkok.
So you're you're coming straight Toronto, flying to maybe Hong Kong?
Yeah. You mean did I come to Bangkok from Canada?
Yeah.
No. I went to Spain, Germany, Hungary, Romania, Denmark, and then after Syria, and then after I flew over to back to Denmark, and then after I came to Thailand.
And playing professional football in various different leagues and coming around. So did you end up in an Asian professional league, or was it a Thailand professional league?
Yeah, so there's different leagues all around Asia, and I was playing in the Asian, Thai league, yeah.
Thai league.
Yeah.
How did the Thai pro football players embrace you as a foreigner coming in? I mean, because again, for context, you would have come here almost 15 years ago.
Yeah. So, I was one of the early ones. I came here 15 years ago. It was 2010. Yeah, and I think it wasn't so common. There wasn't a lot of people who made that jump. But, coming from Canada, not wanting to go back to Canada because there was no pro league at that time in Canada. And then, just kind of pushing on. There's no other option, So I decided to try it out. And then, it was a learning curve, for both locals and for foreigners, at that time. And I had to adapt and be resilient and kind of, take it from a perspective of personal growth and kind of learning new cultures, accepting it, and kind of just always telling myself it's not wrong, it's just different, and kind of not putting myself in that situation where I'm judging constantly. It was more of me accepting and just kind of thinking, okay, well, that's new, this is a different way of doing things, so just kind of accepting that.
When you first moved to Thailand, can you recall that first experience in which you realized there was a bit of a culture shock? And do you have like a specific memory or story that you can recall where, wow, this is maybe much more challenging than you first would have expected?
Yeah, I mean, working for a football club and then not getting paid because I went through I think it was the flood. Yeah, Songpan Sip It Nam Tuam. Yeah, it was the flood that came through Thailand from the north, and then the Chao and then after eventually it hit Bangkok. And there was a big flood and we couldn't play football. The Thai league was called off. And then I didn't get paid. So then after I went to FIFA and, because that was my only lifeline, and then I went through a military coup, but Thailand had several of those, over 20, I think. So that was weird seeing really friendly Thai military in the BTS that had a gun, and it's just like, whoa, what's that about, right? And then everybody so pleasant, so peaceful, but there's a takeover of the government, right? So yeah, I went through that the first time, yeah, and then after, there's been a couple since I've been here, yeah, and it was just like that was very shocking, yeah. So yeah.
Was there any moment where you think I might have to go back to Canada, which I think someone like myself, that's probably the biggest fear living in these wonderful places like Thailand, like, please don't send me back home and that has to become your life. Did you ever cross those bridges of fear of ever having to leave Thailand?
I mean, when a new government comes in, you kind of think to yourself, like, how is this going to affect foreigners? How is it going to affect my money? How is it going to affect my family, right? So I would say, what I learned in Thailand is that I started changing my perspective on how I was living here. More so to, this is the way that, my life is, and I have to accept it, and I'm going to be moving forward and not having that cloud of fear kind of coming around me. So I started to embrace the fact that, Thailand is this phase of my life. This is this is what I'm doing now. And wherever I end up is where I end up. So I think along with a lot of other people that come here, kind of just accept it and think to themselves, okay, let's see what comes to us next, because it's an adventurous place. It's an exciting place. I've been here 16 years almost. And I feel like nothing, is beyond, the unexpected. You always have these situations that you come across that are new and exciting. So more or less, I never don't feel that I don't feel that anymore. I don't have that feeling anymore. So, but I think, also my life, living in so many different countries, having these new beginnings, constant, new experiences, coming here, getting married, getting divorced, having children, getting remarried, having more children, starting new businesses, these things, you just have to accept it now and just move forward. So no, I don't have any
living in
fear going
places like Asia and Thailand. You can only control what you can control, and what's out of your control, you kind of have to ride it like a wave, especially moving, initially to Asia or Thailand specifically in this case. You're coming in here with maybe not a clear understanding of cost of living and budget. Let's start at the beginning when you're first getting here. Your cost of living, your budget, living in Bangkok 15 years ago. Could you give us a breakdown?
Chicken fried rice was like 30 baht. Yeah, at that time it was less than $1 Canadian. So yeah, and then after now, I think maybe you can get it for $3, $4. So there's like several times the initial costs when I came here to compared to today. But I think that's just the world in general, right? Bangkok, cheapest, most expensive city I've ever lived in. Yeah, I spent a fortune saving money. So I would say more or less, yeah, you can have whatever lifestyle you want.
Yeah, it can be quite expensive depending on also where you live and that lifestyle. Like whether you're going eating Michelin star, you're doing massages every day, playing golf, going out to nightclubs. I mean, the sky is the limit on the budget in places like Bangkok. When you initially got there as a pro footballer, were you paid well enough that you didn't need to think about budgeting, or was it kind of paycheck to paycheck?
No issues with money.
No issues with money. So they are paying the pro footballers that are coming over here quite well.
Not as much as some of the people that I know. Yeah, but
not like an English teacher.
Way more. Okay. Way more. Yeah. But I mean, like, of course, I had friends and even clients that I helped that earn way more than I did, and I think I came out here for a new experience. At the same time, I made sure that I had my boxes ticked, and I made sure that I was going to be able to provide for myself. So.
What is the name of the Asian league in Thailand now?
Yeah, they just do Thai League 1, 2, and 3.
Thai League 1. So the top tier Thai league. If you're a young footballer, maybe coming over from Canada, as a junior on the squad, what could they be expected to be making? Just jumping into Thailand onto this type of team from the beginning?
Well, first and foremost, they wouldn't take a junior foreign player. It's not necessary. We don't. In Thai League 1, you're looking for somebody that is going to come in and do the job. You're not hiring for potential. You're hiring for people that can make an impact, and usually, very experienced as well. So those players usually come in later on in their career because they're making good money elsewhere, so there's no need to come to Asia in general unless they're out of favor in Europe, right? But as a younger player, then you can make a good salary where you can provide for yourself in maybe Thai League 2 and Thai League 3. Yeah. So
what are you able to share, like ranges of salary these guys are making?
Yeah. So like,
or I guess the question more for the audience, and we'll structure this in a way of, could you break down the difference in salary for Thailand players coming to Thailand between leagues 1, 2, and 3?
Okay, I'll start from the bottom up. Okay. So Thai League 3, you're going to get from like $1,000 plus house and transportation. Yeah, usually it's a motorcycle.
You're talking US dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just for the audience, and
I always talk in USD. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay. Yeah. We'll keep it in USD. So we'll come back to that, and we'll start that again. Just this is purely for that short form clickbait. But going back to that, if you want to start from the beginning, we're going to keep that in US dollar. So if you can just continue the way you're
answering.
So
in USD, I would say $1,000 to up to $3,000 in Thai League 3. Yeah. More or less. Okay. Thai League 2 would be 3,000 to 7,500, just under 8,000. And then Thai League 1 could be around 5,000 to 40 to $60,000 a month.
So they could be making upwards of 1 to 2 million baht per month as a star.
Yeah. It's happened.
Yeah. Are these players coming from anywhere in the world, or is it specifically Europe or USA?
Yeah, Brazil is really popular here. Africa is really popular, but Brazil, usually the highest earners are Brazilian, Spanish, but yeah, Spanish or Brazilian.
With the amenities in Thailand and the ability to pretty much live here like the Wild Wild West and have the freedom to do whatever you want, watching a footballer come over to Thailand with that amount of cash flow, it can go a long ways. Have you seen any disaster stories where maybe players entering here, they kind of went off the rails?
I think in general, sometimes whether you're a football player or not, it's whether you are able to have that discipline. Yeah, I think that is not related to money actually all the time. I think people usually have it in them or they don't. And more or less, if you fly off the rails, it's because you've allowed yourself to do it. So yeah, I mean, money doesn't help if you have too much, and for your capacity, and you're not in a position to help others around you, and you're very selfish, and you're just focused in what you can do, and your power. If money is your god, then after you more or less kind of usually end up in disaster. Yeah. So
yeah, no, probably a lot of the players, they are elite athletes. They're used to the discipline, the training. They don't have a lot of room to be able to, be out on Soy Cowboy 4 nights a week. Otherwise, they're not going to perform.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. We've all been there. I'm not saying I'm an angel. I'm just saying that sometimes when you have talent, it goes a long way. And then after, when you're rewarded for it, sometimes you just need some time for yourself, and I think you have to kind of plan it, accept it, and then after get back to work, so it's just like any other job.
The Thai women, and especially in places like Bangkok, they're much more available. There's more options than maybe places such as Hua Hin. As these players are coming into the city, they might not have the discipline to control, who they go with and when they go with them. And yeah, there's horror stories of things can happen, money can be taken. Maybe that missus has a different intention or plan. Do you have a specific story, and you don't need to name names of players, where you've seen a complete disaster through the women in Thailand dealing with these football players?
Yeah.
Is it your own story?
We have no, it's not mine.
Okay.
But we have some experiences that we paid for, and it was like paying for education.
Yeah.
You have to look at it like that, because you try not to make those same mistakes, right? But I know people who've lost lots of money, lots of possessions, and in some cases children, so I mean it could happen. I hear a lot. Me personally, I don't have I've never married a Thai woman. Is beautiful and fantastic, and as much as I love this place, it just never crossed into my life. So first wife was American, and I have a beautiful child with her. And then after, second wife is Korean, and I have 2 beautiful children with her. So we have a really good kind of team. My ex-wife's husband is an amazing man, and I think everybody really gets along. So I don't have personally those experiences, but I do know a lot of people, just missing laptops and stuff like that, getting drugged. I know a few people who went out drinking, and then after something ended up in their drinks. But I mean, you kind of put yourself in those situations, you know what I mean? So you have to be aware. You have to have that kind of, that third eye. You have to be aware, and be conscious of what can happen if you put yourself out there in those environments, right?
Yeah, if you're picking up, you're looking for love, and you're picking up a Thai girl at maybe a girly bar on Soy Cowboy or down at Nana, and you're expecting her to be your wife. I mean, where is she from? What's her backstory? It's kind of like adopting a soy dog. You don't really know. Have they been beaten?
I don't know if I'll go that harsh.
I don't know if I'm going to go that harsh.
That sounded a little bit harsh. but like, look, man, I try not to judge, like, again. So of course there is people from all walks of life. I think that, their situation after staying here 16 years, I could say that, sometimes their environment, if that's, sometimes they're happy to do it, sometimes not. And then, I think men sometimes are also vulnerable, just as vulnerable as the women. You know what I mean? Think about what they're accepting into their life. Think about what kind of, situation that both people are in, right? Sometimes you find your equal, you find what you're looking for, so I try not to judge, but some of those men, damaged, as they may be, they want that damaged woman as well, right? So
yeah, and a lot of the older guys coming over here, specifically to Hua Hin, they're kind of coming on, it might be their last beer at some of these bars, and they're coming out here with not a care in the world whether the Thai girl does end up taking his money, and they have that full intention. I've had those conversations with certain older men, expats living in Thailand, and the name, the house is in the Thai girl's name. They're like, I'm 75. Where do you think this is going anyways? Yeah. She's 35. Yeah. I just want to kind of live out my last 20 years here in peace.
Yeah. If that. But I think also what happens to a lot of men, usually it's men, not women, but what happens is that they have their expectation, they know what they want, The transaction is fine, and they're happy with it. But a big issue is that they start to change, and then that transaction, the circumstances hasn't changed, right? So why do they want to change it? Because of love, I mean, I think everything's subjective. You need to stay within your lane, and if you want something and you set out the lines, that you draw on in the sand, so to speak, then stay within your margin. You know what I mean? Don't change up. Yeah.
Well, just before we pivot, because this is now turning into the best Thailand relationship podcast on the planet, we're going to do something we never do. First, to let us know who is Fruiting Body. Fruiting Body podcast, it's in Thailand, but we initially started off as a supplement company. So we're doing products such as lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi, functional mushrooms. Now we're doing a ton of other stuff now as well. So you can check us out. Links down in the description. In Thailand, both on Shopee and Lazada, and we're also in Singapore and globally. So check that out. I rarely ever do any types of promos. Just to do we'll pivot now more into the lifestyle and the transition from living in Bangkok, being a professional football player, now being an entrepreneur, owning your own business. Now, before we get into those details, let's just jump into that transition. What really led you moving from Bangkok to Hua Hin, and go into the details of the differences between these two locations in Thailand?
Yeah. For me, it was a no-brainer. I had been coming here for since I arrived to Thailand. Funny story. I came to Pranbury. Actually, I don't live in Hua Hin. I live in Pranbury, yeah. And I went there, booked a hotel online 16 years ago, and I was coming for Songkran, is the water festival, yeah. Long story short, the advertising for the hotel said Hua Hin, so I was looking for that water festival kind of style. Because I didn't want to do it in Bangkok at that time. It was my first Songkran, so everybody went to their hometowns, and as a foreigner, I didn't have many friends, so I was looking for some friends, yeah, and so I came down here, and then after, the only friend that I met was one lady on the beach who was like 75 at the time, and there was no restaurants or anything like that, so yeah, I made friends with her, and then, yeah, when COVID came, I had been visiting her many, many years, every single holiday. And then after, I decided to move out here full time. And yeah, I think it was just more, where do you go during COVID? What do you want to do, And that's kind of how I ended up coming here full time. And
so you started coming actually into Pranbury almost on a whim, like it wasn't that intentional, like you thought maybe it could have been a Hua Hin, Pranbury.
Yeah, I think it was just like, again, you end up in these places sometimes and you just don't know how you find yourself there.
Yeah.
And when you're in Thailand, more or less, everything's an experience, right? Like if you're here the first time, right? So you just kind of accept it. And that's what I did. And then I started coming back over and over, and more or less, I would say it was a really, really good experience.
How did you decide to settle in Pranbury, and why not maybe do that in Hua Hin, where because businesses are more local?
I knew somebody. Knew somebody. So I met that lady, and then after, she just kind of helped me, and she knew that I was looking for something, and Thai people are really, really helpful that way. They support you. So especially if you have a genuine connection. So then, I just kind of more or less decided to trust, this lady, and she helped me get on my feet. And then after, I brought my family, and then I bought a swim school. And then after, kind of revamped it, gave it a little bit new blood. And then after, I started supporting all the international schools. So I brought in really, really good quality teachers to come and teach swimming, So, but I love the sport. I think it's brilliant. My daughter swims every single day, and competes internationally. So it's really cool.
And the school is located in Hua Hin or Pranbury?
It's located in Hua Hin. Yeah.
So would you ever consider now moving to Hua Hin, or you're content with where you're staying?
Look, I like Hua Hin. I think it's a brilliant place, but I could never live here. Honestly, if I'm honestly speaking, I couldn't live here. I need to stay by the beach, right? So, and like, I need my space. I love seeing the cows, the traffic from the cows in the road. So I love that local feeling. I love the fact that I don't see so many foreigners. I love the fact that, everybody in the community is on a first name basis, So I love parking my car in the middle of the road and not worrying about somebody beeping me behind, you know what I mean? And just kind of like having a local conversation and genuine connection. So
Yeah, you get a lot of expats moving to the Hua Hin area and Pranbury, and even I know some that live down by Samurai Yacht. And it's, again, that escape for the extra layer of peace and quiet. Even in places like Hua Hin, as you go outside of 112, you do get these locations as well. But yeah, Hua Hin, it is a city. It can still be quite hectic downtown. When you did the transition from Bangkok coming down to Pranbury, can you explain the difference of people that might be looking to live in a big city like Bangkok compared to living in Pranbury? What could we expect?
Yeah, I'm human. I think we were talking about earlier that sometimes I need time for myself. You know what I mean? So when I need the sauce, I go to the sauce. I go to Bangkok. I get a little bit of action. Get my Korean barbecue. I get my, just that vibe, that big city vibe, I know how to do it. I know how to do it up, I go there, have a good time. And then after I come back, I go there for work. I have this international school, Summit Football Institute.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the first international school, football specific international school in Southeast Asia, right? So I have this brilliant project that I'm doing, and at the same time I can have a little bit of time for myself. And then when I come back, just driving to Pranbury, looking at all the mountains and driving by the ocean, it gives me this peace, this wave of peace that overcomes me. And then after, I feel like, oh yeah, this is home. This is home for at least the next 7 years until the project's done. And then I think maybe I'll be ready for 23 year change of scenery, right? So.
Yeah, I think most people, when you do go to Bangkok and on that drive back in, which it kind of hits you as you get into Ratchaburi, once you get out of the city, it is a sense of relief, and you appreciate living in the more rural areas of Thailand compared to living in the city, the hustle bustle. I think it's maybe to each their own, but it's kind of if you're a younger person looking for maybe some corporate work and you do like that hustle bustle, it's great. But at this point, when you're kind of just looking to have that peace and quiet and relax, this is definitely the better option.
A lot of the people that I come across, they start to get confused on their identity as well, because they stay here a long time, and then they start to forget, that they are foreign, and they start to feel like, I run this place, I am Thai, you know what I mean? And like they think that they're gonna die here, you know what I mean? And it's just like, hey man, you're a foreigner. You're always going to be a foreigner, This place does not belong to you. It's taken people bigger than you, you know what I mean? Like, stay humble. Remember who you are, you know what I mean? And appreciate the big city. Appreciate Hua Hin. And remember, like, where you belong. Draw that line, you know what I mean? People, they think like, oh, I run Bangkok or I run Hua Hin. And they get these alter egos, and I don't know what they're thinking, you know what I mean? So I think, like, remember, you need to respect Bangkok. It will swallow you, you know what I mean? Respect Hua Hin. It's this quaint, cute little place that, people can relax and find a balance, you know what I mean? And don't come to Pranbury. Yeah?
Don't come.
Nobody wants you.
Nobody wants these people there. It's you're able to have your own space. You're able to rest and relax. I mean, I love going down there. We usually take the motorbikes through the back roads through Eureka, and then there's the mangroves. There's a funny little bridge there. Have you ever been over that bridge?
Yeah.
It's like it's a rusted up bridge that some people put their cars on. I can't believe that.
It's crazy.
I've taken it on my motorbike, and I was like, holy.
I don't drive on that.
Okay, on the bike, it's okay.
So that's another thing. Like, people forget that this place is very rural as well, right? So you could lose your life, you know what I mean? Like, just like anywhere in the world, right? You have to be conscious. You need to respect the space and kind of accept it for what it is. And it's not wrong. People are like, oh, that bridge is nonsense, the ties, this and that, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, go home if you don't want to accept it, and kind of remember, you're a guest here kind of thing, and remember, you know, that this place is what it is. It's just different, you know.
Yeah, I think you get a lot of crusty expats over the time. Well, I think they just complain because they're bored. If
They're just entitled, entitled people, you know. So and are constantly comparing it to wherever they come from. Oh, back in Germany, we would never have like this. Go back to Germany, man. Nobody wants you, you know. Like, I don't know, man. It's just a lot of these people who come here really are not opening their hearts, you know, and accepting that this is just a step along the way to their life, you know.
Yeah, you gotta flow with the punches here. Like, I mean, I lived in China 6 years before coming here. So
Brilliant, yeah.
By the time I got here, I hear people complaining. I'm like, go live in China for 6 years.
But I'm sure it was brilliant in your own capacity.
It was, but it was extremely challenging. Yeah. Like just like in terms of the language barrier, in terms of cities being developed, the pollution, the people. Like, Thailand is a paradise compared to China. So once you get over here, like, oh, this is great.
I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really hard to go back to Denmark, where I was living. Like, you know, and that's like I lived in Toronto, Barcelona, Berlin, Bucharest, Budapest, Copenhagen, Bangkok. You know what I mean? Like, I hit those big cities. You know what I mean? And Copenhagen was just like unbelievably functional, and everything makes sense. And Danish people are very practical, and you know, everything is working, you know. And then I came to Thailand for contrast, and it's just chaos, you know what I mean?
But it's
like,
controlled chaos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would say it's. I mean, compared to Mumbai, yeah,
that's just complete chaos. No, I mean, like, for example, in Thailand, there's rules on the road. I'll give the best example. So, like, when you exit this place and you go back to the main road 112, right? If you are about to turn left and a car wants to turn right in here, typically the car, you have to give them the right of way. They would need to come in and turn right. But in Thailand, without any spoken word, you can arrive together and just go like that.
Yeah.
And it's not the right way to do it. But if you're just arriving in Thailand, that would absolutely blow your mind.
Yeah, it's just like you said, the right way, right? It's not the right way to, from whose perspective, you know what I mean? Like, for them, it makes sense, you know what I mean? So we have to adapt, right? So for me, I'm just kind of like, oh, I guess that's the way we do it, you know what I mean? So I drive like an absolute friggin' maniac in comparison to the way I drive in Canada, right? So it's just being adaptable, right?
But you have to here. There's a certain way to drive. You have to drive like they're driving. Again, if they're coming in the wrong way, like, you connect quick enough to be like, oh, I see what he's doing. Yeah. And I get it, because actually the reason they're doing that is because if he goes around you, then that's a potential collision. But if he comes inside you, then you don't touch each other.
Yeah, And have you ever seen traffic police pickup trucks on the road just driving by? Yeah, it says traffic police. Yep. You know, I remember this guy just getting in my way, and I just overtook him. I was like, I had to speed up to like 140, right? And I remember thinking to myself, I'll get pulled over in Canada doing that. But this guy was just like, oh, sorry, you know. The police here are just kind of like, you know, not going to give you a hard time for that, you know, driving 140, overtaking a traffic police. But, you know, like, when they, you know, are pulling you over for your sticker or trying to make some money, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you kind of just like appreciate that as well, right? So it is. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of the stuff that you would not get away with in Canada, like maybe you have 2 beers and you lose your license, compared to here, that's okay. Or if you're speeding on the highway in Thailand, you get a 500 baht fine sent to the house. In Canada, you lose your license, your insurance goes through the roof.
It's crazy. 2 beers, man, it's nothing.
That's crazy.
It's 2 beers. It's not gonna affect anything. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, it should be like body weight comparable, right? If you're like 80 pound and you're drinking 2 beers, of course it's gonna affect you. But yeah, more or less, I think I really appreciate this place so much, you know, and that's why I do business here. That's why I have a family here, you know, and that's why I feel safe, you know. I would say the best part of Thailand is that it's consistent, you know, whatever it is, you know, and maybe sometimes the most consistent part of Thailand is that it's inconsistent, you know what I mean? But I think more or less, I feel like I'm not at risk, and I'm not getting challenged in any massive way from the government or from the people. I feel more or less like I can come to your house and do a podcast with you and feel, like, the rest of my day is going to be brilliant, and not worry about any other outside factors.
Yeah, living in Thailand, the people here don't change. I don't find the country changes much, but you change. And that means you start adapting to their way of life. And I've kind of always adapted, so I've never had issues. But you do watch a lot of foreigners struggle here where they are complaining and things need to be a certain way. Some examples, like if you go to a Thai restaurant with 10 people and you order pad krapao or you order a pad Thai or just a tom yum soup, you might not get that. Yeah. You might order a pad krapao and get a pad Thai. Guess what? Eat it.
Yeah.
Don't send it back. Yeah. Don't say, I didn't order this or I didn't order chicken in my pad krapao. Just eat it because you're rolling the dice most of the time.
Yeah.
You might get sick here and there. It's actually, to be honest, quite rare. But I find that's the biggest thing I notice foreigners do at restaurants that haven't lived in Thailand. They're way too picky.
Yeah. Guys, if you're miserable in whatever country you're living in, you're going to be miserable here. Okay? Just like really don't think this place is going to change you into a happy person, right? Change yourself, come here and appreciate. Yeah, I would say don't be a
Debbie Downer.
Yeah, that's
as we pivot into the entrepreneurial side of things. I want to kind of touch upon the story of actually bringing this all together, being a pro footballer in Thailand and becoming that entrepreneur and owning your own businesses. Can you walk us through that whole story and process of how this all came to be?
Yeah, realizing I had value. And then after realize that I was in a position to help people. And then after realizing that I need to pay bills. Yeah. And also, if you're in the service industry, just do a really good job. So more or less, I decided that everything that I do, I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to make sure that it has a start, it has an end, and then after it kind of flows. So when I was, playing football, I was constantly thinking about what's my next step, right? And then when I started the first business, Asia Football Showcase, I realized, how am I going to, have a niche? How am I going to be different? So I guess I started getting involved in like the psychology behind it. I think any business needs that. So more or less it was about adaptation. It was about how do we support people? How do we give them an opportunity to have a fair shake? At the same time, give them, give them at least some kind of experience, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Make sure that I'm providing that. So then, and then after, just like what's the pathway? What's the purpose? Right? As you can sense, I'm very deep about when I'm talking about things. I'm very passionate about it. Yeah. So I would say that was something that I started with. And then now I started thinking outside of myself. I started, saying, all right, you're like this, like how do other people see you? How are you perceived in the industry? So more or less I started stepping outside of myself and looking within and just saying, all right, I need to grow. I need to build. I need to, just give some value that I have to other people. Right. So then I started thinking to myself, okay, how do we do things that are right by the foreigners, right by the locals, and then more or less kind of finding the middle ground, finding my speed. Right.
Now, the main focus for yourself, is it Summit?
No. It would be the POI Sports Group. Right. So like People of Integrity Sports Group. Right.
And what would that encompass as people that want to connect out to you? And we're going to put all links down in the description so you can reach out. If people are looking to participate in that, get involved, like what are those expectations they could receive?
Yeah, so we do soccer mostly, right? And this is the biggest probably sport in the planet, right? Yeah, multi-billion-dollar industry, right? And then there's those people who are real, and there's those people who are just trying to do it to like some English teachers that I know, just trying to make a living. You know what I mean? There's no pathway, right? So I would say I'm trying to help people by providing a real pathway, trying to bring in specialists, trying to, get people that I have and, work with to pass on their experience and their, energy and their, knowledge to future generations, right? Because, I'm not going to be here forever. And, I think, we have to invest mostly in the youth, and we need to, work from the bottom up. Now, I'm different. I started working from the top down. I started working with pros. I bring in a lot of professional football teams to Thailand to do preseason. I'm a specialist in that capacity. I have a project where I help the players that are professional, who want to be professional, that 18 years up kind of age gap, 18 to 29, just kind of, finding their way in the pro industry. And then after, I have the high school, right, which is Summit Football Institute, where we focus on football and we make children specialists by bringing in specialists from around the world, just passing on that knowledge and giving them scholarships to America, giving them professional pathways. And then after, we have the academy that's working from like 8 years old to 10 years old. And I think, I do have a heart for the younger age groups, but step by step, you know what I mean? We're working from the bottom, the top up, and it has its value as well.
That's a lot of hats to wear. I mean, how do you find time to manage it all?
So I'm lucky. I married a Korean, and their culture is, about, you can have degrees from Harvard and, you can have, good business, but unless you have a child, you're a failure. You know what I mean? It's like all, they want you to impact, remember this country, I am shared with my wife. I'm one with her a little bit. So I take on some of her culture. She takes on some of mine. And some of the things that I held on to was, this country had no natural resources. It had, I think in the early 90s, it had a lower GDP than Uganda. You know what I mean?
Tin mining and
right? Like, it's crazy, right? And then they invested in education. They invested in their own people. And then what they ended up doing was starting tech companies, Samsung, Kia, LG, all these, Hyundai, and all these amazing things, and started, exporting things that they're creating through engineering, right? And setting up businesses to impact future generations, right? So I love that part of her, and she has decided to let me work into the maximum capacity, and and just kind of enjoy that purpose that I have. And at the same time, she manages a house, and she's raising our children, you know what I mean? And a child that's not even biologically hers, you know what I mean? And having a strong relationship with my ex-wife, and her husband, and, and it's just more of a place of growth, that we've taken on this perspective. And, it's just whatever we leave. And, that's kind of more or less how I look at things.
Yeah, it's very from the outside, people would think it's the dynamic can be quite complex, but in reality, all the pieces of the puzzle are fitting perfectly into their place.
It's a lot. We have a swim school and, a lot of staff, but I realize I don't need a lot of people. I just need quality people. You know what I mean? There's no reason. There's this rule where you have one foreigner to four Thai staff, right, to pay Social Security, and that's what they put in purpose on purpose in place for us to get work permits. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I don't need a foreigner. I just need somebody who's quality. You know what I mean? Somebody. We have Dennis, who's a German coach. Played Buriram and played in Germany, and he's half Thai. You know what I mean? And I have Win, who's this Thai guy who's brilliant, more brilliant than half of my foreign staff. You know what I mean? We have Zuri. We have amazing people, and that's all I really care about. At the end of the day, I need people of value. I don't need a lot of people, so I find a way to make it fit because I have help, quality help.
Are everybody is working together on all projects?
More or less, yeah, more or less. We all it all kind of finds a way to fit together. So Dennis and Michael work together, kind of, and Zuri, and Hedy and Win and G and Chai, and all of these people, they all add value to kind of build up. They all kind of see the point, you know what I mean? And if they don't see it, go. I don't need, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think Thais, foreigners, as long as they have value, it doesn't really matter. So I think, yeah, just kind of make it work by having good connections with people.
For young entrepreneurs looking to move to Thailand and start their own business, what is the best advice you could give them?
The best advice for somebody that came to Thailand to be an entrepreneur, I would say, come here to learn, not to tell, but at the same time, have a heart to teach. I think everybody in their life should, no matter how much money you have, no matter how specialized you are, I still think that you need to be a teacher. Everybody needs to be a teacher. You know what I mean? Everybody needs to share some part of them and help young people, or even older. I help older people. I taught a guy, 71, Mike, if you see this, 71 years old yesterday, how to swim. You know what I mean? And I'm not asking for money. It was just something that I felt compelled to do. You know what I mean? And I have all these amazing things. I have children. I could have been spending that time with my children. You know what I mean? But it was still something in me. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna come here, give and take and find that balance. Teach at the same time, learn. So that's, I would say, anywhere in the world, you be that person. Be a human. Don't be this egotistical person that knows everything. You know nothing.
The younger generation, and specifically whether they're half Thai living in Thailand or international students, compared to your generation, which we're similar in that sense, 40 years old, starting businesses, entrepreneurship, who has the better work ethic, the younger generation in Thailand or our generation?
I think it's just different. Yeah, I wouldn't say one is worse than the other. Sorry, I'm not giving you a definitive clickbait answer. You know what I mean? But yeah, we were. So a lot of people were terrible in my generation, and don't have this ability to adapt like the new generations. You know what I mean? I think new generations are more adaptable in some capacity, but also at the same time, work ethic is something that we valued, those long hours, putting in the work, and, that's just what we grew up with, right? Things take time, but here you can get an Instagrammer who just, shows a little bit of butt cheeks and clapping butt cheeks and big, nice, bodies.
We watch our words.
And, those people are making, seeing ways forward that get money. I'm not a podcast, man. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. It's doing well. You're making lots of big bucks, buddy. You know what I mean?
Not on this.
So you know what I'm trying to say is, like, it's just different, right? Yeah, I'm sure you put in a lot of hours. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to invest yourself, and apply yourself, and that is never gonna go away. It's always gonna be hard work, whether you're clapping butt cheeks, or if you are, just
clickbaiting on podcast interview questions.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
If you're to go back 15 years when you first moved to Thailand, is there something specific you would tell your younger self as a mentor to yourself?
Get stuck in earlier. Yeah. I would say first is always best. Yeah. Also, first is always the hardest. So I would be more forgiving. I was before, really hard on myself. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, this didn't work. And, and that cloud of negativity started coming over me. And it took me a lot longer to arrive to where I'm at right now. And it's gonna, and hopefully moving forward, I'll take those lessons of life. There's no quick way of getting anywhere. There's no shortcuts, guys. It's always going to be hard. You might win some, and the ones that you lose, hopefully you learn. And I learned the hard way, man. I learned the hard way. Ask my ex-wife. She's my friend right now, but I'm telling you, she was buying me books on ethics. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, and manners, you know what I mean? So I'd say be nice, be polite, and I would tell myself, just forgive yourself, because it's gonna be okay, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, some of the hardest stuff, especially in Thailand, is even the ability. You meet a lot of people along the way, and preserving your time and the ability to know when to say no, and the ability to know when to give up on projects that might not work.
Yeah.
And I've done that many a times where you take them out back and shoot them before they grow, because you're like, it was a great idea. I've put 50 hours into it, but I don't want to. Do I want to put 1,000 into this thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can only see that stuff until you're in the weeds, you're in the forest, and you're working on it. Do you have any examples of that? Of, as an entrepreneur, we try so many different things. Your ability to say no, your ability to pivot.
Yeah, I think like for me, it was more, I always had my core knowledge of what I want to do in my life. I've decided that I want to be in football, I want to be in swimming, and I stuck to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I tried to do some what do you call this? What is this Ponzi scheme?
MLM?
I don't know. Ponzi schemes,
like
yeah?
Multi-tier marketing.
Yeah, I some part of me knew it was going to be a Ponzi scheme, but I put my money there anyways, you know what I mean? And then I got bit, and I was like, ouch, that hurts, you know what I mean? And then after, I kind of just learned my lesson a little bit. So like, yeah, I stopped that. You know what I mean? I stopped doing things that
there's no shortcuts.
You know in your heart, that, man, what were you doing? Like, stay true to yourself. That's a big one. Stay true to yourself, Make sure you know yourself, And if you don't take risk.
How important does God play a role in your life?
God is everything. For me. Yeah. I don't really go and promote it. You know what I mean? I'm not religious. I don't really focus on religion too much, to be honest with you. It's too organized. But I definitely try to impact people from that perspective. I think, like, it keeps me honest. You know what I mean? Because I have a dark side, guys. I have the darkest side you've ever seen in your life. I could be the most toxic, worst human being you've ever seen in your entire life. You're like, wow, that's the most worthless human being you've ever seen. You know what I mean? And if I didn't hold on to my one truth that, hey, man, you're here to help people. Don't, you believe in something. I believe in God, and so be that person. You know what I mean? And I don't feel judged by anybody, because I don't care. I am who I am. And God can't judge me, because He is my Father, and He is the one who is always forgiving. That's why I say our Father, you know what I mean? The reason they say that is because your father is like, oh, what a waste of youth. But you can't choose. You hold on to that kid and you help him regardless, no matter what. You ever see those drug addicts and their parents are always like, trying to help them, and people are like, let go. He's going to drag you down to the pits of the end of the world. Jeffrey Dahmer's parents are still like, he's not that bad. Like he's still my kid. You know what I mean? Like, and he's done unforgivable things, but they stand by him because he's going to forgive you. And so this is something I hold on to that will always make me rise up and overcome. And I always come back there ultimately. And whether people meditate, they pray to themselves, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Look at the Muslims, man. The Muslims are the best. They're the tits. Can I say tits?
I think so.
The Muslims are the tits. They pray 5 times a day, and they have this really, really good, like routine. Discipline, routine, right? And the more you have routine, the more you do these things, is the more it becomes you. Whatever you choose to do will become you. You know what I mean? And so I'm learning from all these other people and all these other things. So the structure helps a lot, right? So yeah, maybe... God is ultimately, when I'm dead, nobody's gonna give a crap about me.
Once you're dead, you're dead.
Whatever, you know what I mean? And it's whatever I instill into these kids is whatever is gonna hold on. It's really hard. These kids are lost. They're doing suicides and stuff like this. They don't know who they are. You know what I mean? They're trying to figure out. But if they have God, then at least they know that they're something, you know, and they have value, you know. And maybe it's something I convinced of myself or not. I don't care. The reality is, I believe what I believe in. It is what it is. So let's just continue that way because it's not letting me down.
Perfect. Well, that is a great monologue to end this podcast on. Because it's been an hour.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice, sweet.
Exactly. Just before we wrap it up, we're gonna come back over to Ryan and allow him to speak to the audience, speak to the camera. Over to the big lens over there. If you could just let everybody know, and I'm sure I'm not leaving Hua Hin, so let us know in the comments any questions you have for Ryan, because we could have a reoccurring guest here. We love doing that stuff here. There's probably so much stuff. It's only the tip of the iceberg, especially because he's only been here, especially because he has been here for 15 years. But just to pivot into allowing Ryan to speak to that audience, our audience, his audience, let everyone know if they're looking to reach out to you and get involved, whether it's on the swimming side or the football side, where can everyone expect to find you? And again, we're going to put all the links down in the description. So I'm going to kick the camera right over to Ryan now.
Yep. If you're 1 year old to 99 years old, you can learn to swim at Swim Hua Hin. Okay. If you are 8 to 14, you can learn football at summitfootballacademy.com in Bangkok or in Hua Hin. And if you are if you're 14 to 18, you can learn at Summit Football Institute. And we are sending you to either professional at 18 or to college, NCAA, NAIA, NJCAA, or U Sports in Canada, USA, or it's valid in the Europe, in UK and Europe, and that's from 18 plus. Or you can go the second chance university graduate, amateur to professional pathway. For AsiaFootballShowcase.com. But yeah, more or less everything's on POISportsGroup.com, People of Integrity. That's more or less what we're trying to connect with people.
Yeah, so that it's a full turnkey solution and path, kind of taking you from step one right up into the transition into pro. So whether you're going through the program later in your younger career or starting again at the age of 1, Ryan's offering that full solution. Okay, so that's going to end another episode of the Fruiting Body Podcast. A big thanks for Ryan coming on. I think we hopefully have 2 more of his fellow colleagues over there that are going to jump on. Maybe we get 2 more podcasts done as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave questions in the comments, and we're out.